It's really cool to see that these two players like each other so much, and I think it's going to be a really fun series, Johan. I've had the pleasure of casting Hawk in PvZ very often lately, and I would say like 12 months ago, 18 months ago, his PvZ was really not that good. It wasn't very inspiring, but especially over the last 2-3 months, he's really been stepping up his game, and I really love the honesty he said as well. He's like, Swarm most are not a huge problem for me. He's like, I'm pretty good in what I do, but he also said I'm not good with the air units. So it's really funny because a lot of product players still feel that the best way sometimes to deal with it is tempers, is carriers, is mothership, but it really requires a different skill set to control an army like that than it does to like harass everywhere or like be active with Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, the first few times you do it is the most difficult. Then as you play more and more in this kind of game, you gain some experience. But still, managing, the mothership plus some Tempest and all that can be difficult. You cannot put all units all together. They're always going to spread out, leaving them open to abduct and all that. But anyway, I expect a different kind of game here. I expect explosions in the sense of that those players love to play aggressive. And in particular, Huck. I feel like Hyun is most likely going to rush a third base. Looking straight at you guys here.
He's such a cheeky guy. He's so fun. He's been around for a long time. It's really cool to watch like the rise of Hyun. He used to just start out playing all these online tournaments and grinding his way through, eventually finally getting picked up by a team, being able to start traveling in, I would say, towards the end of 2011, early 2012. And of course, from the moment he was the runner-up once upon a time in the GSL Code S, he's been going all the way. Over here you guys can see Huck is also incredibly pumped for his match. It's like he can't keep his excitement contained.
Huck looking extremely focused, actually, even more so than usual, I feel, here. Maybe he's going to give us a bit of a smile here before starting, as we are about to start first map being Overgrowth. We've seen Huck really trying to be aggressive every single time on this map. He's never really played it passive, and the one time that he was, I guess, a little bit more passive, he just made a quick third Nexus, but he was originally going to go for aggression, but it kind of failed, so he ended up switching it up. And man, I'm so excited. How many gateways are we going to see? I asked Dana to do a prediction yesterday, and he said 15. And he was never right. I guess if you combine 2 games, there was 8 and 8, so it was 16. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's going to be 3 gates in the start, and after that we might see a few more. But I'm expecting really solid play from Hawk. I'm not going to hate, because I love watching his PvZ play, and I really think it has evolved so much. But is it going to be enough to go up against this incredibly scary Blue Zerg spawning in the left bottom side of Overgrowth? Give it up for Rockets Hyun.
And in the top right-hand side corner, his opponents. In the red trunks, as TB would say, we have Aegis Huck. Both of these players are previous MLG champs. We actually have 7 champions, 7 previous MLG champions here at MLG.
I don't think Hyun is an MLG champ though.
Didn't he win one?
No, he was the runner-up of MLG Anaheim last year. He got incredibly close and he had an amazing run. But he never won one. He came very damn close though. Either way, of course, Huck has won even 2 MLGs, which is, you could say, even more impressive. There are very few people out there that have won 2 MLGs. And Huck is also the only non-Korean ever to win an MLG after the Koreans started coming over. I believe that was in Orlando in 2011. Either way, a really long time ago, but Huck has played fantastic in the past. It's been a while since he had a memorable run in a tournament like this, but he's definitely putting up good games and he's no pushover, and it's going to be hard for Hyun one way or the other.
Interesting gateway placement here. I guess when you do something like that, I feel like you kind of hope that the Overlord is going to go in a bad direction, say go too close to the Nexus and not spot the gateway on time, and then you can chrono boost out a Stalker sometimes and snipe that first Overlord that flies into your base. So it's a bit of an, I guess you could say, Cat ZVZ build, where he likes to get the Spore to try and snipe the first Overlord. Interesting drone that's being hidden around the natural of Huck. I wonder if he wants to block that or not. So far, it looks like Hyun wants to go for double hatch at his base. And yeah, he's going to get a perfect scout across the map. He knows that he's going to be safe early on.
This is funny because what Hyun normally does is he will always go hatch first against Protoss, or at least the majority of the time. But he drone scouts, so obviously if he sees a Forge down or he sees a Python on the low ground with a Forge, he will not go hatch first. And then normally he sends the drone back immediately, and then the drone scout is the one that's going to go become the third hatchery. And this time actually he just kept the drone around, he hid it in the natural for a bit, sneaked into the main base again. I'm not exactly sure why. I don't really understand what you can possibly scout in that phase in the game.
Something weird is happening. There is a lot of chrono boost saved up here for Huck. Is he gonna go for a couple stalkers here, maybe to pressure a little bit? He's chrono boosting out the first one. This is what I was talking about. Even though the gateway was spotted, you see that Overlord getting a little bit too cheeky here. It's gonna be close. Might be able to get away. And the Nexus is still going to go down. But there's a lot of chrono boost available here for Huck. If he was to chrono boost his warp gate actively and gets 2 more gates.
He's going to be able to get the Overlord, though. At least I think he will. It's going to be relatively close. But I think this Stalker might be able to get the first Overlord. Actually, he might actually elect. There's 1 or 2 shots. It's going to be really annoying for Hyun to deal with. It will survive for now, but the Stalker could still run around. Oh my god, 1 hit remaining. And he only has a single Stalker to work with, so Hyun might actually be able to save it. That is really frustrating for him.
I really like what Huck is doing, but I'm not sure it's going to be relevant in the grand scheme of things here, because we have 3 Queens on the way, 8 Zerglings. Hyun should be able to hold this without losing anything. Not even his first Overlord, apparently, because this one is going to get away for now. But with the quick Stargate that we have behind this, if Huck was to go for, say, like double additional gateway, and then starts pressuring with Oracle plus Zealots, it could be quite deadly. But Hyun is doing something interesting here. He's sending some links around on the top left-hand side to try and do maybe a run-by. If units are not in position, and the Zealot is actually not in position inside of the wall here.
It's making its way home, though. I think it's going to be there in
the link
time.
stopped, strangely enough.
Yes, the links did suffer a little bit. What's also unfortunate for Huck is that his first Stalker that he had on the way, he didn't rally point it all the way to the back of the natural. Well, actually, this Zealot is going to get surrounded immediately. The Zerglings will pick it up for now. This is frustrating for Huck to deal with because he doesn't have a unit on the other side of the ramp. Or on the wall, I should say. So the Stalker is going to make his way home, but it's going to be really annoying for Huck to micro the Stalker on the other side of his wall. That's not normally how you want to micro your unit. The Pylon will unpower the Stargate, which means that the Oracle is going to be late to the party. This is quite a disastrous opening for Huck and a very good one for Hyun.
Yeah, Hyun has done work already in this game. Look at Huck, though.
Oh my god, look at the Stargate, Hyun. The Stargate is taking so much damage. All of these slow
He needs to warp in a sentry to force field maybe on the right side. The Oracle is going to help with this.
He's going to be able to survive. Yes, he will keep it alive for now.
He used a lot of energy on that Oracle already. Huck always has a probe across the map ready to make pylons. This is insane. Actually, I feel like against this guy, you have to somehow place Overlords in every single corner on your side of the map, because that's always going to happen. He's always going to gateway pressure, and in this case, I'm pretty sure Hyun knows this is coming, so he's going to start making a bunch of additional Zerglings. He's getting a Spine Crawler on his third base. He already has 2 Queens there, and he could send some more. He's sending a third one to reinforce.
You know what, the best thing for, even though there is a creep threat, and actually Hyun doing a fantastic job and already getting a couple of those creep twins out, the Oracle could help with revealing creep. I would really love to see a few Stalkers being wiped in for Huck as well, because he can actually micro. There's no Zergling speed yet, and it's going to be a while before there is Zergling speed. I don't think that these Zealots will trade all that well, especially now with the Spine Crawler here. The Oracle is taking a lot of damage. He wants to keep the Oracle alive. He will get a few drones for his efforts. Actually, Hyun, it's a lot of Zealots.
Yeah, second Oracle is was actually made, but he's not being sent in right now. He's getting additional Stalkers to help and reinforce this. The Zealots are not doing too bad. I really thought that this was going to be a comfortable hold for Hyun because of all his Queens, but right now, they're kind of dying left and right.
And the most beautiful thing, there are a lot of Zerglings on their way, but as long as Zergling speed is not ready, Zerglings is not going to be enough for Hyun. Huck is doing some serious work right now, as a lot of drones have fallen already. 4 or 5 and a few more being evacuated. The Oracle is going to work on one of the Queens. He gets that one as well, but now Zergling speed is almost ready. Above all, the Zerglings did get the surround on a couple of those Stalkers. Huck getting perhaps a tiny bit over eager there and letting his Stalkers get surrounded against slow links. That was not necessary.
He did start up a forge behind this, and right now he's adding on a lot of additional gateways. He's already going up to 6 honeys, 2 bases. I have to wonder, what's the follow-up here for Huck? Does he go for some sort of 2 base, maybe Void Race and a lot of gateways unit all in, or does he try and get a Robo, maybe a Twilight Council with a 3rd base, Blink and +2, which has been the standard in this matchup now for some time?
I kind of feel that it's going to be a Twilight build. Anything else does not really fit. He could of course still get a Robo as well. It's going to be hard for him to go up to more bases, as there are quite a few speedlings on the map already, and you don't want to expose your units too much. Yeah, we do see the Twilight being wiped in. He's also getting a Phoenix. Could just be a scouting Phoenix, as Hyun did find that Pylon in the right bottom side of the map, by the way. That's really unfortunate for Huck.
Well, I mean, it was pretty obvious. Like when you get attacked like this, you're always going to know the units had to be coming from somewhere. There was indeed a closer pylon.
Yeah.
You could have thought it's only this one, but usually it's good to make sure and double check in the corners, and that's exactly what Hyun's going to do. That one Oracle, I fear for its life. He's about to fly into 3 queens.
Yeah, 3 queens should be more than enough to deal with it. But above all, Huck keeps it alive. That is really important. Only 6 workers have died. The feeling that I had just watching that battle, it really felt like a lot of stuff from Hyun was dying. And in the end, I guess quite a few things did die. As queens did fall, a few drones were picked off, a lot of Zerglings fell. But in the end, Hyun handled that very, very well. I really wonder how that would have played out if Huck wouldn't have gone in that deep with his Stalkers, and he wouldn't have had let his Stalkers be surrounded by those slow Zerglings.
What do you make of the charge?
I'm a little bit surprised by that as well. I kind of expected Blink, but what could be the case is that he's going to rely on Immortals, perhaps even Archons soon, and then just charge to finish things off.
I think he's somehow counting on Hyun not to go for roaches, which would be a big mistake because
yes,
he kind of is the king of roaches.
Yes. And there are not a whole lot of ZVPs out there where Hyun doesn't make at least 10 to 20 roaches, and from that point on, anything is possible.
Huck almost made a second Twilight in his main here for a second. Then he realized what was going on. Maybe he wanted to make the Templar Archives. And I wouldn't be surprised if that starts soon as well. Spire is going to go on the way here for Hyun. I wonder what's his reasoning. Does he want to go for Mutus?
Yeah,
does he think Huck's going to play 3 bases?
I've seen multiple times Hyun, and this was really cool. I casted Hyun versus Puck early this tournament, and Hyun's army movement was excellent. He was just refusing to fight. And whenever Puck felt like, okay, I have to move out now, I have to do something about this guy's economy, he just full-on base trade, sends all the Zerglings and Roaches in, and then before you know it, you're looking at 28 Mutalisks that are going to win a base trade. This is not the moment for Hyun yet to fight, but he's just looking. Well, actually, with all these Roaches, Johan, the forces from Huck are going to have to be very good because it's a lot of HP.
And they were not that great. They didn't really trap any of the roaches, so Hyun's going to step out of there.
Charge is not ready yet. These Zealots are really not contributing a whole lot to this fight. A lot of Zealots are being picked off. The Zerglings are going to swing in now. I love how he was waiting with the Zerglings until all of those Zealots died. The Zealots were pretty much useless, and this is looking pretty damn bad for Huck. He's losing a lot of important units that he wasn't supposed to lose in this phase in the game.
The Oracle is now out of energy. The Mothership Core is going to try to help
Big
as much
Papa.
as possible. But yeah, the Immortal.
The Zerglings might actually stream in there, as those two Zealots are not real Zealots. So for now, Huck will be able to battle this army back a little bit. But there is so much money in the bank, it's just a matter of time before we are going to see...
Oh, he pulled Huck out of position here. He made him believe that he was going to go for the 3rd base, and now he's going to catch him completely out of position. Zerglings streaming there. 13 Mutas on the way behind this.
I know, it's just a matter of time. Even if this attack wouldn't have killed Huck, then with all the Mutalisks that were going to be the follow-up, Hyun played that very well. He executed that attack very well. Waited with the Zerglings and used them on the right moment. He's going to go through, break through the natural, focus down this Nexus. There is no saving for now. Eventually, Huck might be able to push back the Zerglings and the Roaches, but Hyun, we all know that feeling when you have nothing that's good against Mutalisks.
Then you get a War Prism, like Huck is doing. And you pray for the best to happen, but no, Hyun's going to win the first game here after some very, very nice attacks. This is such a good move to try and fake that you're going for the 3rd base. You know that the Protoss is going to have to move out there, come and try and defend. That's exactly what happened. And then he surrounded Huck immediately with the Zerglings that were reinforcing. So beautiful vision and reinforcing here by Hyun.
Yeah, really well done, but from up to that point it already went very good for him. He was definitely winning that fight, and even when he was like up 50 supply and winning the fight, he had 1600 gas in the bank. Well, that is a really scary thought when you're like, when the fight is going 50-50 but a Zerg has 1600 gas in the bank, you know you're in a little bit of trouble as a Protoss player. Either way, we're going to move to a very small break, and after that we'll be back with game number 2 between Hyun and Huck, which is going to be played on Frost.